Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Drop a vortex if I can be heard. Y'all see the topic? Open chop session. It's hunting season on the gods. Gods are falling and their slaves, but the devotees are scrambling. He's just still cooking. Rock. Mic check, 1 2 1 2 in this deal. Man, it's going down, man. All praises to the creator, the God maker, that always was, is, and never shall be. The mighty and great spirit, the mighty and great I am, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere or everywhere. It's your little brother Malaki Macabee. I see the title, Open Chop Session. The gods are falling and their slaves are scrambling. Man, make sure y'all stay tuned. Easy money, though. Easy money. Let's cook.
Jehovah is as near this day as in the time of the ancients. Put yourself in order, becoming one with him. And no book is so easily read as his created universe. Inspiration comes less by books than by what Jehovah wrote. His worlds read him and his works. Frame your speech and your thoughts for him. He will answer you in your own behavior and in the happiness of your soul. Great wisdom cannot be attained in a day, nor purity and strength to overcome temptation, till the growth is from the foundation, the fool will say. The sacred books are no more than man of his own knowledge could write. Yet he has not wisely imitated the power of the words of your God. Let him do this well, and behold, he will also declare my words are from me. Yes, he will recognize them wherever found. It is the will and wish of your God that all men become constitutionally capable of receiving and comprehending the highest life, and that they shall no longer depend upon any priest, church, oracle, holy book, or upon consulting the spirits, and that their behavior may make the earth a place of peace, with long life to all people, for the glory of Jehovah. To his Etherian gods and goddesses, Jehovah said, as you have founded arcs of light in my Etherian heavens, to determine the travel of my corporeal worlds, so shall my God of the earth inspire mortals to build lighthouses for man's ships that travel on the oceans, and those who travel in the ships. And those on the land shall know when a ship nears the port, even as you see my traveling earth approaching the place of Cosmo. For this shall be an illustration to mortals, that I have appointed cycles of times and dawns of times, with gods and goddesses to superintend my creations in tenderness and love, lest by chance man becomes despondent, saying, alas, Jehovah did not provide in wisdom commensurate with the magnificence of his creations. Behold, the time draws near when the nations of the earth shall course around the whole earth in ships, crossing the seas and oceans to all the places I created.
Some Corporeans, mortals, who belong not to the society. Verse 6. Now it came to pass in course of time that some Corporeans, mortals, who belong not to the societies of faithists of any of the tribes of Jehovah's chosen, became believers in the all-person, and that to live by the all-highest law, and that to live by the all-highest light was the fulfillment of the divine law. And they joined not the faithists, nor followed the rites and ceremonies. Verse 7. God propounded this in Diva. Where shall the spirits of such be delivered? Behold, even on the earth they have delivered themselves away from the drunks, which are people of darkness. Shall we not suffer them to fall into the kingdoms of mixed company in Haiti? Verse 8. Upon this the Diva decreed, a separate kingdom shall be prepared for them that believe, who have lived isolate, and who know not the rites and ceremonies. This was the fourth section of divine law. The fifth was like unto it, but explanatory, which was, verse 9, to have faith in one great person, the ever-present Spirit, creator and ruler as well, but to have such faith and yet not commit oneself to an association of brethren of like faith proves such lack of discipline as required beginning at the 5th grade in the Isaean world. Verse 10, the 6th section of divine laws provided the name for the kingdom of them that profess faith in the great Spirit, Jehovah, but are without practice, shall be called Medi, and its place shall be in the first removal from the earth. So here the name for the place of the spirits of those who believe in the Creator, but follow no rites and ceremonies, and are without association, is called Medi, the first removal from the earth, which is within the first heaven. So after death, this is the place prepared for those who believe in the Creator without practice of the rites and ceremonies. Now, Book of Words of Jehovah, chapter 4, verse 1 through 19, it states, Jehovah spoke to God, saying, Because thou hast founded Medi, thou shalt make Medi laws, and thou shalt send thy surveyors down to Haiti and to the earth also, and they shall choose a heavenly place for thy new kingdom. And hither shalt thou go and create a plateau and a holy place and a capital and provide a throne for it. Verse 2, When thou hast completed thy work, thou shalt call to the throne a sub-God, who shall rule in thy place with wisdom and power and love in my name. Verse 3, But since many of my chosen forgot me and so apostate themselves, thy sub-God shall also receive their spirits, and his kingdom shall be their kingdom till they are purged of their sins. Verse 4, God spoke in the council of Creoshava, relating what Jehovah had said to him, and the council then ratified the commandments of Jehovah. And there was selected one, a Ching Li, and made sub-God of Medi, with the title Anuba, signifying meditator and judge of grades. So here the angel, a Chung Li, that was chosen to uphold this new heavenly kingdom designed for the spirits who believed without practice, was given the title Anuba, signifying meditator and judge of the grades, because his duty was to judge the grades of angels within his heavenly kingdom, and when they have reached above the 5th grade, they can rise to the next higher kingdom, to the next higher heaven. But no one could pass without going through Anuba. Verse 5, God said, Anuba shall have a badge and a pair of scales. With my own hands will I invest him. And accordingly, the place, the kingdom, the person, and the badge of office were duly established by God under the commandment of Jehovah through his kingdom of Creoshava. And the term of office was made to correspond with God's and his Lord's. Verse 6, Thus was put upon the throne in the heavenly place Medi, Anuba, who had been a Chung Li, an angel of 1,000 years in the colleges of Jehovah, most wise and full of love and industrious withal. Verse 7, And Jehovah spoke to God, saying, From this time forth my colleges shall be in Creoshava. From this time forth my schools and primary shall be in the kingdoms of my lords. The Diva afterward made this another section of the divine law. Verse 8, So God and his lords removed all his colleges and places of great learning to Creoshava, but the schools and primary educations were left in the dominions of the lords, their heavenly places. Verse 9, Now during the dawn of Dan, 4 Etherian gods had sojourned on the earth, walking with 4 mortals, namely with Po of Japheth or China, Abram of Arabenia, Brahma of India, and Iwata of North Gautama, which is North America. And the 4 gods preached through these 4 men, explaining Jehovah and his kingdoms. And the angels of Jehovah inspired many followers unto them. For 4 years these gods dwelt on earth, and then ascended into the upper regions. Verse 10, Jehovah spoke to God concerning the matter, saying, For 4 years I bestowed my light in person on the corporeal earth, and then I departed. For it is well that men and angels learn to be self-rising. For which reason I left 4 substitute lords of heaven on the earth, with my 4 peoples whom I delivered. And I commanded these my substitute to abide upon the earth for 40 years, in order to indulge my chosen in a surety in my creation founded in corpor. Verse 11, Provide thou unto them, for my substitutes are Etherians, and thou shalt have their places filled by atmospherians from the highest grades. Verse 12, The Diva then made a section of divine laws, providing for the 4 who stood highest in the grades in Creoshava, to take the places to dwell with the faithest in the names of the Great Spirit. And the names given were to Japheth, or China, Tian, to Arabenia, Jehovah, or at that time Yahweh, to India, or Mazd, to Gautama, or North America, Egoquim, according to the languages and to the capability of mortals to pronounce words. So here the Creator gives his name in the 4 countries according to the language of the people. Verse 13, The Diva then made another section of divine law, which was the title to be given to the 4 angels thus provided to bestow the voice of Jehovah on mortals. And the title was O Yara. This is O, the high heavens, and Y, going to, and Ra, the earth. So it's interpreted as the high heavens going to earth, like the term Anunnaki, those who from heaven came down. Verse 14, the 12th section of the divine law provided that each Oyera should have 10,000 attendants, angels from above the 80th grade, from the colleges of Creoshava, and their attendants were to sojourn on earth with the faithists as inspiring spirits and protectors. Verse 15, the 13th section of the divine law made the terms of office for the Oyera, 11 years each, and the same for their attendants. Verse 16, the 14th section of divine law explained the duties of the Oyera and their attendants, which were that the Oyera should reside with the chief rabbi or high priest and be his inspirer, being with him day and night, and by virtue of his presence make the chief rabbi know the voice of the All-Highest, and the attendants first in rank were to dwell in the same way with the ordinary rabbi, and for the same purpose. And the other attendants were to dwell with the multitude in like manner, and for the same purpose. And each Oyera was to have a heavenly place in the mortal temple, where he could meet his attendants and counsel in reference to the faithists and their affairs. So here is a perfect example of the duty of the lords amongst human affairs. And these angels actually manifest physically to these people, these priests. And that's one secret amongst the priesthood, that they commune face to face with the angels. Verse 17, the 15th section of the divine law made the Ora and his attendants the heavenly kingdom for the Eshars, the guardian angels of the lords who dwell with mortals. Verse 18, the 16th divine law provided for the Ora to increase the number of his attendants according to the increase of the number of faithists in each of the 4 divisions of the earth. Verse 19, such then were the chief of the divine laws made in heaven in the cycle of Sipin Amaj during the first 200 years, and all the kingdoms of Atmospheria were established and officered, and all the people in these heavens became organic as soon as passing the Isaean age, or the age of the new birth spirit. Nor was there any dissatisfaction amongst any of the gods or lords or other officers or any of the colleges or hospitals, and never since the foundation of the world had there been such prosperity in the resurrections of the inhabitants of heaven. So here it shows how the heavenly order was set up within the first 200 years of the 23rd arc cycle, and that all the angels was content with the new heavenly order, and prosperity reigned in the heavens and on the earth for the first 200 years. And on earth, this would have been the time of the Nakada people, or the Nakada culture in Kemet, and the Uraka period in Sumer. And with that, I'd like to say peace and blessings, and catch you on the next documentary called The Rites and Ceremonies of Anuba. Shalom.
Oh, another episode of Selah Shalom University. Selah Shalom University, man. Make sure y'all get over there, like, subscribe, share. A lot of high-level spirituality coming out. Go to that playlist, and you'll see in videos 12 years old, 15 years old. You know what I mean? Salute, bro. Man, I heard banging. Shout out to the CGG Creative Gang in the building. All my brothers and sisters, the gods and goddesses in training. Not to be worshipped and none of that, but you know, standing tall in this hour, waging spiritual war at the highest level, to be honest with you. Because I mean, when you hop out there and start making a distinction between the Almighty and the gods and the lords, and oh man, people get to studying, scratching, hollering. But see, you just don't know how to read the Bible, brother. Let me show y'all something, man. Let me show y'all how a creative game brethren get down real quick, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Prince Cosmon. Some of y'all know this Yahweh Ben Yahweh looking jackal right here. to Zoyak. I mean, his previous or brief history in the past running up against us. He ran from C-Law after he had a sit down with him. Ran into me because he thought he could handle me dealing with Paul, and got put in a meat grinder. And then just, outside still talking, and, my little bro eased up on him. He done eased up on him about 3 times now. You did. And man, it was classic. It was classic. I say, boy. hey, listen to me, y'all. It was classic how young Prince Cosmon, the Zion Tilling Hands, or Chris Judah Vaughn. You'll see all the Chris Judah Vaughn Jackson right there, Prince Judah right there. Right here. Y'all make sure y'all go like, subscribe, share. Go to his YouTube channel. Man, this young brother eased up on this boy to Zoyak with this ISUPK, you know what I mean, emblem across his chest, and just made him look like a mental midget, man. Made him look like a mental midget. And listen to me. You look, if anybody know, it's worse when we slow it down, man. It get worse. I'm way worse. It get ugly when we slow you down. So let's check out our brother real quick. You dig? This is I don't know if this is a day old, maybe 2 at the most. All right, this is our brother calling in. I guess this was a TikTok or something to Zoyak. I don't know the inward mechanics of it. But our young brother that's in the chat right now, Prince Judah Vaughn, you know what I mean? Young shooter. And I be telling y'all, we got snipers on the roof. Don't be thinking it's just a fancy soliloquy. My little brother been invading all platforms lately. And watch how easy he just unarmed this Negro, man. This was classic, bro. Salute. I'm proud of you. Watch this right here. Now I get that off my screen. Let's hit play. Going up a little taste.
What's up?
Yeah, so I was saying for my last conversation, we was talking about the characteristics of a false god.
Oh, so you see how bro ease up on him? See, that's how you ease up on him. You know what I mean? That's how you ease up on him. Yeah, last time we was talking about the characteristics of a false god. Don't even let him off the map with it. That's what we talking about over here. The characteristics of a false god. Oh, wait, look at him hit already. Look how he's looking down and to the left. Or maybe because the camera flipped this to the right. However the optics, however you take the optics, he hit. They have no response for none of this. When you start bringing up the deity and the God, and how the God that you've been, devoted to, man, and, praying to in your prayer breath, may not be the creator, the God maker. And if it's not the creator, then guess what? By default, it makes it a creation. Wait. So bro, ease up on him. Ease right up on him. And look, y'all, this is supposed to be the best they got in the Israelite community right here. I know there's others who would argue, but listen to me. There's no getting around it. See, all we gotta do is stick to our guns. There's no getting around the characteristics of the Almighty versus the deity. Either who you calling God, who we saying creator, is Almighty or he ain't. Almighty or omnipotent, all powerful, simply means what? Possessing one in possession of all power and authority. So there ain't nothing he can't do. So when we read anything, anywhere, I don't care if it's the newspaper, the Bible, the Quran, the OWASP, wherever you reading it at, if it waters his character down like he's not all powerful, like, oh, he can do all things except this right here, meaning he could deliver the children of Israel and chase all their enemies out. Oh, but except for those Canaanites right there. Oh, why, Malachi? Because they had chariots of iron. Well, that would mean that who you call him the Lord or Yahweh or God or El ain't all powerful if he can't even subdue his own creation? Make it make sense. See, so all we saying is be more critical in your examination of the text. Be more critical about who you praying to in your prayer breath, boy, because the God's out here hunting souls. That's a God's duty to get your soul. Either it's a true God or a false God. The true God's duty is to inspire you to rise higher by doing good and righteous works done unto one another. So you can be where he at one day and continue to raise up and do what he doing for you, do for mortals behind you. The false God gonna tell you bow, you stand before your maker. And you're gonna get your kneecaps dusty and get the kneecaps gonna get the slapping. You're gonna say, sir, yes, sir. You're gonna bow, and that's and trip off this. That's a man, a one-time mortal you just bowed to. So shout out to the young brother Prince, man, because look, this is the best they got in the Israelite community, supposedly. And I already know it's easy work because he done skipped across my plate one time. I told him I've been set a bird trap for you. Yeah, fool. Watch this right here. Watch this, y'all. Prince bring up the false god to Zaryat look down and to the left.
Right. One of the characteristics that I was saying was,
look at him shaking his head. He ain't got nothing for it. As y'all gonna see, Zaryat ain't got nothing for the bruh. Nothing. Look.
That number one, if any God, Lord or Savior asks you for blood sacrifice.
Yeah, this nigga love keep calling.
You heard what he said? He ain't got nothing for it. This nigga love to keep calling and stuff. But boy, bruh saying it's valid. If any Lord God deity is asking for blood sacrifice. See? You see, boy, you can move the goalposts and wing your ass and tap dance like Gregory Hines, your ancestor, boy, but you can't get that off with CGG at all. At all. See, that what you just did was trying to, take the attention off of, boy, it's some heat. It's some heat coming up off that couch over there, boy. It's some heat coming over them airways that I ain't prepared for. Yeah, boy, that stomach boiling. Boy, you probably let off a couple SBDs, silent but deadly. He's got the farting over there. Yeah. Yeah. Watch this.
Like that.
Second thing I was stating is, if the God has ever been seen.
Second thing, so young Prince brings up blood sacrifice. If your God requires that, he's off. This is what bro's saying. And if your God has ever been seen. If your God has ever been seen, Malaki. Hold on, y'all think I'm playing? Hold on. Let's do the multiverse retrieval real quick. Does everybody think it's what you think it's a game? What you think we playing? Hold on. What is we talking about here? We can get down. We can get down. What is we talking about? Watch this. We got receipts. We come right back there, Prince. Look at this, y'all. Bro, they ain't playing with y'all. What you think this is? And that's supposed to be the best the conscious community got for you. The best Israelite community got for you is so-called Captain Zaryat. He ain't nowhere near amped. Look, listen to me. The hype is, it's overrated, man. It's overrated. He ain't even built like that. He not. Okay, John 1:18. Prince brings up the fact that if your God has been seen. What that deal say right there? John 1:18. No man. It's right in your Bible, boy. Later on, you're going to ask about the criteria for a false God and a true God. But look, bro, I would say it's right in the Bible. Look, these Negroes are frightened and scared, terrified of a wasp. Man, you can whoop them right with Bible. Messiah say no man have seen God at any time. So you can't even say, oh, he was just talking to the people of his day. Just the people in his day never saw. That deal say at any time. Huh? What else are we even talking about? Huh? So right in John 1:18, no man have seen God, and when they read God, they assume it's the supreme being, the Almighty. So, all right, let's roll with that. Huh? Let's roll with that. Well, according to Messiah, no man have seen God at any time. No man have seen God at any time. So the God or the Father of Jesus, Yahshua is telling you, ain't nobody ever seen my Father at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he have declared him. John 5:37. We can make it make sense. Huh? You can make it make sense. Oh, here we're just talking about the people in his dispensation. Now you want to make an apple or orange. John 5:37. Double down, boy. Bible enough for you? And the Father himself, which have sent me, have borne witness of me. You have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. Bag drop. What is we talking about here? He go on to say, you ain't even heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. Ain't got no form or figure. Huh? We in Bible. We swim over here too. Huh? We justified in Bible before we go pick up anything else. Look, you got a problem in Bible. For any Christian, any Israelite, any Muslim, you got a problem in your own spiritual. Any Commission, you got a problem in your own spiritual text before you come barking up this tree. You already compromised. You already got a problem. Because all we got to do is go back to these stories of old, and show, well, hold on. Moses saw the backside of him, his parts. Jacob said he saw God face to face after he wrestled with him and won the wrestling match. And Abraham even saw him and ate with him and ate some oxtails and oxtails, rice, and liver. I'm just throwing the liver in there, but you understand what I'm saying. See, if ain't nobody ever seen him at any time, then we got a problem with the stories that said nigga saw him. Yeah, let it sink in. 1 John 4:12. No man have seen God at any time. At any time. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfected in us. So look, if y'all got some understanding that right in the Bible, it straight tell you that Yahshua, HaMashiach, or the Messiah, when speaking of his Father, boldly declared ain't nobody ever saw him at any time. If y'all understand that, please drop a 3,000 in the chat for the Arc Cycle Cosmon, man. We cooking. So let's get on back to our brother Young Prince. Because Young Prince told to Zaryak, if you did, he requires blood sacrifice, buddy. And if he been seen, that's a false god. Yeah. See, it sound good. See, you can't get that off with us. We know Bible. We Israelites like you. What is you talking about? Well, now, not like you, but you know what I mean? Israelite for life is what it is. We just addressing the behavior of the deity, the God, and the behavior of you mumble mouth misfortunes. Yeah. And we ain't watering the credit down for nobody. No matter who get mad. Huh? Now look, watch this. Let's get back to this. So Prince, wait to, walk down on him. Watch this.
Right? And ask for prayer or praise, it's false. Because of the fact that the creator of all is unseen yet ever present and all knowing and all powerful.
But what's the criteria that you're talking about? Where is it coming from?
Y'all, listen to me. He ain't got nothing for that. Look at him. Instead of agreeing with Prince, he want to know, boy, where is you getting that from? I'm gonna roll some of these fruities, He over there like, where is you getting this from? Hold on. He ain't saying nothing wrong. Your deity requires blood sacrifice. Your deity has been seen, wrestled with, beat up, backside out. He ain't lying. And so instead of saying, yeah, okay, those are obvious character flaws. I mean, hell, I wouldn't be in no hospital gown doctor. I wouldn't be outside where anybody could see my rectum from the back. You over here asking, where's the criteria coming from? When we just read to you in the Holy Bible. That's the name of it. The title of it is the Holy Bible. We just read to you from the Holy Bible that ain't nobody ever seen God at any time, nor heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. So that means any story that says otherwise is false. I mean, some of these fruities over here, boy. I ain't trying to be a bad influence on y'all, but I'm over here some of these purple fruities. Hey. But yeah, you know what I mean? So anything written against that is false. So listen to me, y'all. You ain't got to bring a waspy up. Look, they already are in a conundrum in Bible. Where the curriculum at? Right in the Bible, you over there clutching with reverence, boy. You mean what's the criteria? Did we not just read from the Holy Bible that no man has seen God at any time, heard his voice, nor seen his shape? If we just read that, y'all drop a 4,000 in the chat, because that's where it's coming from. That's where it's coming from. Talking about some words. What is the criteria? Boy, deal with it. Deal with it. Don't know where it's coming from. Right out the Holy Bible, boy. That's where it's coming from. Oh, wait. You ain't got the spiritual fortitude or the testicular fortitude to let them drag and say, yeah, man, I'm done calling apples oranges, man, because they're not. Watch this.
The criteria of the false god. Who's creating that criteria?
I'm creating it.
Okay. And then the part where you say ever present, where you're reading
it. But it's also found.
Ever present means omnipresent, meaning fills all space and place at the same time. Boy, what is wrong with you? Who would disagree with that? Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, he asking the wrong questions. You can't argue against ever present. That means fills all space and place, the same thing as omnipresent. You can't argue against omnipotent. That means all powerful, one who possesses all authority and power. You can't argue against omniscient, one who possesses universal knowledge, knows all. And you can't argue against being unseen, because even Yahushua, who you call Yahushua, Mashiach said, ain't none of y'all ever seen my Father at any time. So what is you even asking about? Where is this coming from? And this shows us y'all in kindergarten dealing with Bible. Y'all in kindergarten dealing with these spiritual matters, boy. You looking like a whole clown out here. You looking like a whole clown out here. Watch this.
The other texts as well.
In what text? In the Bible?
Yes.
It's alluded to in the Bible, but in the Bible it doesn't tell you the difference between
So
God and the Creator.
So where does it tell you that?
Yeah, but look, Prince, next time don't even let him take you off none of that. Man, look, I'm not here to even let you know none of that. Prove what I said wrong. Prove that God, or who you call God, ain't ever present or omnipresent with Bible. Prove he ain't. Yeah, don't even look, we not talking about where I'm getting this from. I'm stating an obvious fact here. Yeah, it's all good though, Prince. Look, salute, bro. Salute.
OISP, in the OISP, it differentiates.
You said in the OISP?
Creator. Yeah, the OISP Bible. That's one text.
So he hung up on Prince, right? He hung up on Prince. I double down. Another one. Hold on. That ain't it. I ain't double down. All right, now look, watch this right here. Watch this right here.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
He's a coward. He ain't dealing with that no more. Now watch this right here, y'all. Now, in a previous conversation Prince had with him, Prince took him. Prince was like, look, Abraham saw him. Moses saw his hindquarters. Jacob wrestled with him. He said, what do you mean? So you saying Abraham saw the Most High? Nigga never start harmonizing, right? The Most High? He like, yeah. You know, he said, yeah, God. Because that's who y'all call him, God. He was like, where? See, so Zoryak is real good with moving the goalposts. When you got that heat on him, he like to move the goalposts. So Prince takes him to Genesis 18:1. And they just read it. Well, Zoryak reads it, right? And it rocked him so hard, he didn't even realize he just cut himself. He asked, where did Abraham see the Most High? Oh, genius. Genesis 18:1. And the Lord, who was the Lord? The Lord. The Lord. The Lord appeared. Who was the Lord? Huh? Well, walk you down with this thing, boy. Who is the Lord? Hold on. Let's get some understanding.
Strong's H 3068. Yehovah. Yehovah.
Jehovah or Yehovah or Yahweh. Lord, 6,510 times. God, 4 times. Jehovah, 4 times. Variant. Jehovah equally existing one. The proper name of the one true God. Really? Look at this. Strong's definition. Yahuwah. The self-existent or eternal Jehovah. Jewish national or Judean national name of who? God, Jehovah, the Lord. Look at this right here. Proper name of deity. Yahweh, the proper name of the God of Israel. Okay, well, let's go back. Gee whiz, Malachi. So we see who this is. And the Lord, or Yahuwah, appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre. Hold on. Appeared unto who? This is Abraham. This is about the birth of Isaac. He appeared unto him. Let's look up appeared, Malachi. Maybe it's some type of metaphysical, he was over there hallucinating. Let's look it up. Oh, really?
Strong's H 7200. Ra'ah.
Oh.
Ra'ah.
Oh. Oh. Outline of biblical usage. I mean, we even got the KJV translation up there. Let's get into it. Outline of biblical usage. To what? To see. So if he appeared unto Abraham in the plains of Mamre, that means Abraham saw him. To see, to look at, inspect, perceive, consider. Hold on. To see more, to see, perceive, to see, have vision, to look at. Hold on. To who? To look at. What do you mean? So if Yahshua is saying ain't no man ever seen God, no man has ever seen my Father at any time, then who is this appearing to Abraham in the plains of Mamre? See, in the Bible, you got a problem. That's all we saying. It's like you ain't even got to be mad or in a hissy fit because you know we'll bring a waspy out and clear the block, clear the shed. Yeah, that's just what we do. But we swim in Bible too. You dig? And then really get down and deep and study that deal. And it right there, Abraham or the Lord, Yahweh, biblical Jehovah appeared to Abraham. Abraham saw him to look at, to see, regard, look after, to see after, learn about, to what? To observe, to see. To appear, present oneself, to be seen, to be what? Visible. What is we even talking about here? To cause to see, to show, to look at each other face. Man, look, man, leave me alone. Leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. Excellent job, young Prince. You understand? Excellent job, man. These cats is I'm talking about this stuff be above a pay grade. And as you see, bro, it was easy. Your God's been seen. Even though Yahshua Mashiach say nobody has seen him. Even though he say that, you like, well, no, brother, that just means the people of his day. No, that says at any time. Noah heard his voice. Noah seen his shape. Boy, we got a problem. That means when Yahshua is speaking of his father, he talking about somebody totally different than who they was reading about. Woo. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I know. It's taken out. It ain't you get took out. I know it's taken out, Malachi. Okay, let's get into some more of this presentation, man, because you know that's one thing we do. Like we be in the bag around here. Shout out to my family, man. Shout out to the brothers, sisters. CGG is in the building. The gods and goddesses in training, man. Like, you know, a lot of this stuff be above a pay grade, man. This stuff be above your pay grade. Yeah, hold on. That ain't what I'm looking for. Bing. Uh-oh. And if the sister Kizzy is listening, tell her I got her. I ain't forgot her. All right. We're going to go ahead and go over this document real quick. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Okay, right there. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too, man. CGG is still cooking. And this is what my brother was basically, you know, explaining to Zoryat. But his feeble mind just couldn't comprehend. So let's go over briefly what we just did a couple of days ago. All right. Let's go over briefly what this is all about. And then we're going to get down into it. All right. And this is what basically my young brother Prince was trying to holler to Zoryat about. Bro, look, there's nothing more important than understanding the character of who you call the Almighty. You need to understand that. Y'all, we tell y'all false gods out here, you know what I mean? Pump faking. They out here pump faking. You dig? They out here pump faking. So, and when I say pump faking, I'm talking about it's a battle for your soul. It's a battle for your soul, so you can further augment these jokers' kingdoms when you cross over. So you can be a slave worming on your belly. Hold on, let me pull it, make sure I got the chat pulled up. So, and once again, man, look, I can't salute the work the brothers and sisters do behind the scenes. I ain't on the scenes enough, man. I just, I can't. I mean, I search far and wide, near and deep. I don't see it. I don't see, you dig? I don't see no higher light than what CGG is bringing out in this hour, man. That ain't being biased. That's just being truthful. You know what I mean? I don't see it. I don't see it. It don't even really have any substance to it. You know what I mean? And it's like there ain't even nobody like telling you to watch out. Like, look, where you headed, we all gotta go. You dig? Pay attention. Pay attention. You dig? So yeah, man, I just don't see it. But it's all good though. We all gonna be there one day. That's the beautiful thing about what we talking about over here. You ain't condemned forever. It's like, you know what I mean? No one's beyond redemption. You always gonna have a time and a chance to get yourself together. It's just whatever hole you dig for yourself, you got to climb out of it, man. You know what I mean? Got to climb out of it. You responsible. It's one thing a lot of our people don't like, man. They don't like, being accountable. And responsible. You free, man, slave, right? A real man or a free man got to pull himself up by the bootstraps and then make something crack. All right, so this is what our brother Prince was talking to the Zoyak about. And once again, young Prince, bro, excellent sword session. Excellent sword session. So he was talking to him about the character. What is the character of the creator? Is your God an idol? Is your God an idol? Shout out to my brother Cosmo Cal TV in the chat, man. Y'all make sure y'all go like, subscribe, share. You know what I mean? We in the building. Now look, so is your God an idol? That's a very, very important question. And when it's time to do spiritual inventory, you really need to be asking these type of things. How do you know your God ain't an idol? The one you call God, because everyone assumes who they call God is the supreme being, you know what I mean? The Almighty. Everyone assumes this. How do you know yours ain't an idol? Do you even know what an idol is? You dig? You start having these conversations with folk, man, they be like, hold on. Some people get scared. Some people be intrigued. Like, okay. Okay. Now watch this right here. Omnipotent, right? Omnipotent, and right out the Merriam-Webster's, one who has unlimited power or authority. One who is omnipotent or omnipotent, all powerful. Like, so if the one you identify as God or who we call creator is all powerful, drop a 12,000 in the chat. If who we call the creator, who the world ignorantly calls God, if that one you identify with and pray to is all powerful, drop a 12,000 in the chat. These things are very, very important. Out of Webster's Merriam again, omniscient. What does that mean? Possessed of universal or complete knowledge. Knows all. If the one you identify as God, but we say creator, knows everything, knows all. There ain't no of that time and hour, know of no man, not no angels in heaven, not the Son, but only the Father knows. Well, that would mean the Son don't have all the knowledge. Or when they was asking him, grant my sons the power and authority to sit on your throne with you. He's like, that ain't mine to give. Or sit at my right hand. Sit at your right hand. He said to sit at my right hand ain't mine to give. That means he ain't all powerful. You see? If you are praying to it in your prayer breath, it better be all powerful and it better know everything. All right. So if the one you call creator God is omniscient, drop a 13,000 in the chat. Let's keep going. What about omnipresent? Because all y'all can even know what that was when Prince hit him with that. Where's the criteria coming from? Boy, we can go right in Bible and show you this. You got a problem in Bible before we ever get to where we at. Now we just deal with y'all in Bible from here on out. Y'all are frightened and terrified of what watch me. The Nazarene literature, the Essene literature. Y'all are terrified of anything that has a higher frequency vibration of light than what you used to. Terrified. Huh? Omnipresent. Right out of Webster's again. Present in all places at all times. Present in all places at all times. That means right now, wherever you at, the Creator is present. Huh? Wherever you at, the Creator is present. You see that? What is we even talking about here? The one you call God, who we call Creator, fills all space and place, even right now. Meaning life is life, and because the Creator's presence is there. Drop a 14,000 in the chat, man. So we ain't saying nothing wrong. We're saying the Creator gang is saying the Almighty, who we call Creator, is all powerful, is possessed of all knowledge, possesses all knowledge, is ever present, filled of all space and place, and is unseen. No, and no Bible thumper, especially those who claim they into the New Testament of Jesus, should have any problem with what we saying, because Jesus said several times in the scriptures we just read, ain't none of y'all ever seen the Father at any time. No, we. Did I say something wrong? I must have said something wrong, man. Dang, we already read them right there. You know what I mean? Now look what I said right here. We read these right here. No man have seen God at any time. John 5:37. Ye have neither heard his voice at any time nor seen his shape at any time. Huh? Everyone, if not the majority in the live chat, agree with each other and with what the Messiah taught 2,000 years ago, the unseen, ever-present God. If any time during this presentation, your spirit is in disagreement with what you already agreed upon, do some spiritual inventory. Why would you take offense if your spirit is in agreement? There's only one reason you would be offended at what you agree about. That is, deep down, you've been compromised. The spirit you've been entertaining this whole time is actually in opposition to the omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and invisible Creator. Let's get busy. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. That's we went over some of that already. Dang, yeah, we do at it, because man, that's That's kind of hard to, because I already went over some of this on the last video. But we gonna bounce around, because we gotta get down to some of this meat and potatoes, or these plants and potatoes. I go into some of this book of Orenot and OHP. Right here, chapter 1. Right here, verse 15. It says, second, this also I declare to you, that if you have put the Father far away, saying such as there is a divine law or there is a natural law, this shows you do not comprehend the living presence of the Creator, but profane him. And his works, you're a lot of that today. Divine law, it's natural law that the sun comes up and the moon comes up at night. And it's just natural law and divine. There ain't none of that. Life is life, and because the Creator's presence is everywhere or everywhere, however you want to say it. The Creator's presence is everywhere. For there is no divine law, nor is there a natural law, but all good things are accomplished by the living presence of the Creator. All good things are accomplished by the living presence of the Creator. That's what we, as the Creator gang, our brothers and sisters, present to the world. We declare the living presence of the Creator everywhere. A lot of you brothers can't fathom that because you still stuck that he is sitting in space somewhere on a chair, localized, and not filleth all space and place. Wherever you at right now, the Creator's presence is there. But all good things are accomplished by the living presence of the Creator. Things commonly called evil being done by striving to go against them. What is evil is a product of those that fight to go against the Creator's program and agenda. That's where evil comes from. Evil angels, false gods, false lords, those who have striven to go against their maker. Third, that Jehovah or the Creator has not finished his creations and retired from his works, that where you have said he tired or he rested from his works, you have let yourselves fall. You have let yourselves fall through errors of language into profanation or profaning the Almighty. Yeah, because really what you're saying is your deity get tired. He yawns. He gets stiff when he lay down. He got to take a Geritol nap. He getting long in the tooth. Your deity got on his long drawers, tube socks. What the hell are we really talking about here? Are we talking about the Almighty or not? You mean he rested from his works? They say, man, the errors of language, you done failed through. You're profaning the Almighty talking like that, man. Oh, yeah, you know that. That ain't why you keep the Shabbat. The Shabbat been kept for thousands of years, even before Israelites. You dig? Here you go thinking that, that's why, because the Creator rested, so we gonna rest. Come on, man. The Creator ain't never stopped creating. You're profaning the Almighty talking like that. You about this. You putting a foul jacket on Creator, man. You watering Creator down. What you mean he get tired? What, he yawn? He got morning breath? What, he got to brush his teeth now? What are we talking about here? Look, for he is also master over all weariness, and is his own everlasting rest and unrest beyond the comprehension of mortals and angels. Bag drop, boy, you can't even comprehend that, man. He's master over all weariness. He don't get sleepy and tired. Got to put on his long drawers. Come on, man. Look, man. We gotta get ourselves together, man, and just stop. Like, just be real with ourselves. You know what I mean? Look at this right here. Verse 21. And he's forever bringing together or creating and forever dissolving and dissipating worlds without number. Illimitable. The Creator is illimitable. There's no limit to the Creator in soul and spirit. Forever. Not temporarily. Forever quickening into life from his own parts. without loss or waste or lack of space. And without hindrance. Ain't no stopping Creator, man. What is we talking about here? What is we even talking about here, man? Fourth, that the Creator or Jehovah is the soul of all. And that you, us, are like independent atoms of his person. Leave me alone. That just said we are independent atoms of the Creator's person. You know how precious we are. You know how precious you are. And this deal, they writing about atoms or the atomic parts, the quantum mechanics of a thing, y'all, before atoms were even discovered. This is written in 1881, published in 1882. Atoms is in Owaski, atoms. They ain't even discovered the electron until like the 1890s or something like that. Come on, man. We got to be real with ourselves here, man. It's something else going on. How then can any man say, behold, my people are the chosen of the Almighty? And so lay all that bigotry and racial superiority. You got to let that go, coming to Creator. He has singled out my people to go forth and redeem the world. I proclaim all people his people. I proclaim all people his people. See, so you can't even come over here trying to be, riding high on the proverbial hog. No. We ain't doing none of that. Nah, all people his people. And I say also, go forth and redeem the world. But not with words only, nor by the sword, nor by armies of destroyers, but by peace and love, and providing remedies for the poor, the afflicted, helpless, and distressed. Man, listen to me, y'all. This is just what it is. So what you're learning is that we're not about to water the Creator down for no one. No one. You don't like it, that's just what it is. You got to deal with that. You got to deal with the fact that you're willing to water down your maker for the sake of a few claps and being accepted by somebody. Look at this discipline 1-1. Oh, I speed. This is the word from the organic heaven. Hear the words of your God, oh man. I am your brother. I am your brother, risen from mortality to a holy place in heaven. Prophet in my wisdom and be admonished by my love. So God is your brother, not the Father. Not the Father. Notice he's saying, I'm a one-time man. I'm risen from mortality. Look at this. For as I am your elder brother, so shall it be with you, to rise also in time to come, and look back to mortals, and call them to the exalted heavens or the Almighty. That's powerful. To Jehovah, to the Creator. This is God talking. God say to the Creator all adoration and glory forever. So be it, or amen, or amen, however you want to say it. Notice that God gives all adoration and glory always to Creator. You'd be hard pressed to find another spiritual text where God gives praise to Creator. If you understand that what we are reading right now is God revealing who He is. He letting you know, I'm your brother. I give all praise to the Creator. If you understand that, drop a 7,000 in the chat. All life, motion, power, and things seen and unseen, or by and through Him. This is what God is telling you. It all cracked because the Creator is there. His presence is everywhere. So what God continued to tell you, neither is there an angel in heaven so high nor sufficiently wise to comprehend the Creator or Jehovah in His entirety, nor to see Him as you see your fellow man. You can't look at Creator like you look at me. Like you look yourself in the mirror in the morning with them bull nostrils and that morning breath that smell like the pits of hell. Nah. You can't look at creator like you look at a man. He's not in the form and figure of any of his creation. Oh, did I say something wrong? Huh? Some of y'all listening act like you done spilt your yak or your coffee or fancy yourself as one of our enemies and decide to start foaming at the mouth. God is giving it up to the creator. You can't see creators as you see your fellow man. But why, Malachi? For he is within all, beyond and overall, being ever present in all places. Ooh, being ever present in all places. Stop playing with creator. What? Doing by virtue of his presence. Life is life, and because the creator's presence is everywhere. Huh? Yeah, I ain't never heard nothing like this. Look at this. Verse 14. Look what God say down here. We're going to skip around because I went over some of this already in my last video a couple of days ago. All right. Know what it say? It say, hear your God, O man, and distinguish then that the two, God and Jehovah, God and the Creator, are not the same one. That's what we telling you. That's why you keep hitting your head. You feel like you're confused. I don't know which way to go. Look, learn. Look, just understand that God, who men claim they saw and wrestled with and saw his hindquarters, and ate oxtails with him, God and the Almighty are not even the same one. God just said, I'm your brother. The greater is our Father. God and Jehovah are not the same one, nor is your God more, nor is your God more than what you shall be in time to come. Don't you read? I've said you are all gods. And if he called them God to whom the word of God came, then the scripture can't be broken, right? But don't watch me just clearing it up and telling you, look, God is who you become, not who you worship. If you understand that. Boy, text it in the chat, family. God is who you become. Nor is your God more than what you shall be in time to come. As a kingdom on earth, as a king, and the king is nevertheless a mortal. Boy is a man. So in like manner is the heavenly place of your God, a kingdom of angels, and the chief over them is God, an angel also. Good night, boy. We can end the stream now, to be honest with y'all. Turn some music on and get the hell about now to play. But look, man, come on. But in Acts chapter 7, verse 37 through 38, verses 53 through 54, Stephen got stoned. And one of the main things he said to them was that, look, you received the 10 commandments, or what you call the Torah, from angels. So when you read written with the finger of God, that was an angel, or a company of angels. It's just clearing it up. God is an angel too, man. God ain't the creator. He's an angel, a one-time man. So man, angel, and God is the same thing like water, ice, and vapor. Dang, it's that simple, Malachi. Verse 20, therefore I'm like any other spirit of the dead, a one-time man upon the earth. Look what God tell you. This ain't Jehovah, the creator, talking. God is telling you, man, look, I'm like any other spirit of the dead, man. I came through the womb of a woman. I lived my life. You dig? I had my bumps and bruises, my ups and downs. I died, I crossed over, and I rose to this rank. And what I'm doing for you, you're going to be doing the mortals behind you. You know what I mean? What I am is what you become. God is just a magnified man. That's it, man. Therefore, I'm like any other spirit of the dead, a one-time man upon the earth, even as you are in this day, the one within the organic heavens of the earth. God declares to be a brother of man and reveals himself as a one-time man or an ancestor. God gives all praises and adoration to the creator, his maker. God reveals the difference between God himself and Jehovah, the ever-present creator. What is it? What is an idol, Malachi? Right out of Webster's Merriam. So what's an idol? Is your God an idol? An object of extreme devotion, a representation, an idol, or what? A false God. Do we see a false God right there? Is that in the dictionary, Malachi? That's in the dictionary. A likeness of something, an impostor, a fallacy, a false conception, a form or appearance visible. Wow. But without substance. Oh, really? Let's get into the blue letter Bible. We got Samel, likeness, figure, idol, image, statue, whatever represents the form of an object, either real or what? Imaginary. Phantoms of the mind. The image of, oh, hold on. We can't let you get back like that. Hold on. No. We can't let you get off on that one. No. That deal say, phantoms of the mind, the image of a heathen god, a what? A false god. More from OWASB, Book of Safad, Imha, Golden Chamber. Question came out, what is an idol? Answer, anything having form and figure that is what, y'all? Worshipped. Okay. In essence, hold on. In essence, shout out to the sister Essence. In essence, if it can or has been seen, and it is worship, then your deity is an idol, aka a false god. Good night, my brother Prince. Tried to tell this all y'all like, hey, him been seen. And him still gets worshipped. What is an image? Zalim, unused root, meaning to shade, a phantom, illusion, resemblance, hence a representative figure, especially an idol, image, right? So, dictionary, let's go to the Cambridge. What is an image? Look what it say down there. A picture in your mind. A picture in your mind or an idea of how someone or something is, the way that something or someone is thought of by other people. Look what it said out here. A mental picture or idea that forms in a reader's or listener's mind from the words that they read or hear. Really? This is something like what you would form in your mind if you read this about Jesus, right? Revelation 1:14, his head and his hairs were white like wool. That's white as snow. Remember, an idol was an image. And what is an image? A mental picture that forms in your mind based off what you heard or what you read. Well, we're reading this. You didn't heard before Jesus may be black, right? That's one of the verses they go to. His head and his hairs were white like wool, white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. Okay, so we got white woolly hair. We got the white of his eyes, red or as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in the furnace. Brass is brown, and if you burn it, it gets even darker, right? And his voice is the sound of many waters. This is an image that forms in the reader's mind based off them either listening to the scripture or reading it. So this would make Revelation 1:14-15 about Jesus idolatry. This would make Jesus an idol. Why? Because he has form and figure, and he is worshipped to this day, especially amongst the Christians, as God Almighty, meaning the creator of all. Hmm? Hmm? See, real sons and daughters of the Creator don't get worship. They don't want your praise. They want you worshiping them. Hmm? They're here to call you to the exalted heavens of the Almighty. Let me check the chat out. Make sure y'all cool up in this deal, man. Shout out to the Bronze Yoga reporters in the building. Shout out to that's Misha, ain't it? Credit gang. Shout out to Misha. I see Keela, my sister, in the building. FGK Capone, all right, I see y'all, man. We in this deal. Burning the midnight oil. All right, so we see that, right? Look at some more. There's other images that form in your mind based off what you read or heard, which would make the deity an idol. Anything that has form and figure that is worship. You ask somebody in the earth, do they worship Jesus? They'll say, gee whiz, yes. Back from the Revelation 1:14 through 15. Anything that's form and figure that is worship is an idol. It's an image. The image is a form based off what you hear or read, right? No? Look what Daniel saw. I beheld the thrones were cast down. The Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth before him. Millions ministered unto him, and tens of millions stood before him. Judgment was said, and the books were open. This is something like what Daniel saw. The Ancient of Days, you would say, is who everybody calls the Most High, right? Isaiah 2. Let's go to Isaiah. Remember, Yahshua saying nobody ever seen my Father at any time, right? In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne. And then jump down to verse 5. He say, for my eyes have seen the King, Yahweh of hosts. What? Sitting on the throne, right there. That's what Isaiah saw when King Uzziah, something similar to what he saw. Saw someone in the shape and form and figure of a man sitting on a throne. Revelation 4, same thing. All these pictures wouldn't be able to be drawn had not the description of the deity been in the Bible or the Holy Bible. Remember, an idol is a likeness or an image of devotion. An image is a mental picture, an idea that forms in the reader or listener's mind from the words that they read or hear. If you can see it and you worship it, then it is an idol or a false god. Good night, Malachi. What's next? So that's right there in the Bible. Let's get into the Commission deities and the gods. We ain't letting them off the hook either. The Osiris in the Judgment Hall of Ma'at is not Osiris in form and figure of a man sitting on a throne, and he's green in spandex or grave cloths. The green god in spandex. And then the crazy part about it, all these are deities too. I think this is Horus right here. This is Tahuti. Oh, these are gods. This is the Amit. This is the Anubi or Anubis right here. You know what I mean? And if this little joker right here, all the way to the left, if his heart, Anubis is weighing his heart, and the dog right here, this Amit, this crocodile monstrosity, crocodile head and dog body, he's looking over at Tahuti recording. If the man's heart down here is not light as a feather, guess what? This guy right here who just died gets ate by this crocodile monstrosity right here. If it is, he passes on over here. This is the same dude. That's over on the left. Is him right over here between Tahuti and Horus. And he passes on and comes before Osiris. Comes before Osiris to live forever and to roll around with him in his fields of reeds. But nonetheless, form and figure, the chief deity is Osiris in Kemet or Egypt. Yes, it is. And he's green. As any of these practitioners, why is your deity green? Oh, brother, vegetation. Your God is green. And he got on skinny jeans. But that's the whole breakdown of the Judgment Hall of Ma'at. It was this slope-headed monstrosity right here. But this is L. I don't Wikipedia. I'm gonna type in L deity. You're gonna pop right up. Okay, well, L is in the form and figure of a man sitting on a throne. El is a Northwest Semitic word meaning God or deity, or referring as a proper name to any one of multiple major ancient Near Eastern deities. Although El gained different appearances and meanings in different languages over time, it continues to exist as Il or El and compound proper name phrases such as Ishmael, Israel, Samuel. It says Al or El, the supreme god of the ancient Canaanite religion. El was listed at the head of many pantheons and some Canaanite and Ugaritic sources. El played a role as father of the gods of who? Creation. The chief deity in Canaan is El. And he's supposed to be the pappy of gods. He's supposed to be the father of creation. Was Israel in the land of Canaan? Yeah. El. El, right? Keep going. Keep going. And we got documents and presentations for days, man. Look, eventually El's cult became central to the ethnogenesis of who? El's cult became central to the ethnogenesis. The beginning of Iron Age Israelites, but so far, scholars are unable to determine how much of the population were El worshippers. It is more likely that different locales held different views of El. El worshipped in the land of Canaan by the Israelites and their forefathers. Genesis 14, 18 through 20. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, which is Jerusalem, brought forth bread and wine. And he was the priest of the Most High El. Page 410 in the Most High God. El Elyon, El. Jerusalem is in the land of Canaan. El is the chief deity of Canaan. And before Israelites were ever in there as a nation, El already had a priesthood, had a temple, Holy of Holies. And obviously Abraham ran into Melchizedek, Melchizedek. Some say that's Shem or whatever. The point being that he was priest of the Most High El in the land of Canaan. Canaan's chief deity is who? It's El. Look, and he blessed him and said, "Blessed be Abram of the Most High El, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God or Most High El, which have delivered your enemies into your hand." And he gave him tithes of all. Page 410. Almighty, but use also of any deity. Great idol. Jacob erected altars, and he erected there an altar and called it El, Eloi Israel. El, the God of Israel. That's Jacob in Genesis 33 and 20. See, that proceeds, man. Look, and let us rise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto El. Genesis 35 and 3. Genesis 35 and 7. He built there an altar and called the place El, Bethel, because there God appeared unto him, meaning he saw God. Man, you can't see the creator. The creator is invisible. Mm. Mm. We just read the definition of a prayer, didn't we? Let me read the definition of a prayer. To gaze upon, to look at. Good night. 35 and 11, Genesis. And God said unto him, I am El. I am El. This is what God said to Jacob. I am El. Almighty. Or El Shaddai. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. Good night. So yeah, El, this guy here, was worshipped in the land of Canaan as the chief deity of the Canaanites. Jerusalem is in the land of Canaan. Abraham bumped into an high priest of this guy right here. And he was blessed, and tithe was given to him, and then the priest, the high priest of El, blessed Abraham. We got Jacob, Abraham's grandson, according to the biblical narrative, building altars to El. And even El appeared to him, so he saw El. Okay, so El has form and figure. There he is right there. El appeared to him. So he saw El in the land of Canaan. There he is right there. I know. What about Yahweh? Well, now we don't worship El, worship Yahweh. And there he is right there. There he is. See that? Yahweh. Right off Wikipedia. Man, look, this stuff on Wikipedia. It's like the God on the winged wheel coin. He's in the form and figure of a man as well, but he's sitting on some type of mobile chair, a wheelchair. The God on the winged wheel coin, minted in Gaza City, southern Philistia during the Persian period of the 4th century BCE. It possibly represents Yahweh. Dang. Enthroned on a winged wheel. It has been described by Stephen Herbert Langdon as the only known representation of who? Yahuwah or Yahweh. Look. Or however you say Yahweh, Yahuwah, it's the same thing, man. 4th century BC. If you read the ancient Hebrew from right to left, that's the Yah, Ha, and on the other side is the Wah. Yahweh. Some say Yahweh or Yahoo. But there it is right there. Yahweh or Yahweh. Or even the language. I mean, those are the language or is Canaanite script. You call them Paleo Hebrews, Canaanite script. This was found in Gaza City, the land of Canaan again. I don't know. Somebody mad. Look what it says. Yahweh or Yahweh was an ancient Levantine deity, worshipped in Israel and Judah as the primary deity and the head of the pantheon of the polytheistic religion of Yahwism. Worshipped in where? Israel and Judah. This who, when you read about the Lord, Yahweh, Yahuwah, niggas arguing over that. This who they talking about. There he is right there. Worshipped in where? Israel and Judah. Then we flip all through, we lick our fingers and flip all through the Bible and see all throughout that junk. Huh? Israelites to worship Yahweh. Yahweh. Though no consensus exists regarding the deity's origins, scholars generally hold that the deity is associated with Seir, or Mount Seir is where Esau is at. Edom is Esau, Paran, and who? No. And who? Teman, the grandson of Esau or Edom, and later with Canaan. Later with Canaan. Oh, Yahweh was an Edomite God before he even came into Canaan to become an Israelite deity. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Right here. The early Israelites engaged in polytheistic practices that were common across ancient Semitic religion, as their worship included a variety of Canaanite gods. Stop it, man. And goddesses such as who? El, Asherah, and Baal. In later centuries, El and Yahweh became conflated. So now Yahweh and El are the same deity. So now all you know is the Lord your God. When in history, there are two different deities. Some spots tell you El is actually the father of Yahweh. Yahweh is son of El in some spots you look up. That's him, Pappy. But in later centuries, they conflate Yahweh and El together, and all you know is the Lord your God now. And El-linked epithets such as El Shaddai came to be applied to Yahweh alone. Characteristics of other deities such as Asherah and Baal were also selectively absorbed in conceptions of who? Yahweh. Dang, son. Here we go, Baal Haman in the form and figure of a man sitting on the throne. Who else we got? Oh, who was that? Who was this mattress back right there? Ishtar, Astarte, Ashtaroth, Isis, Semiramis, Aset, however you want to call her. But she's a goddess, right? In the form and figure of a woman. And what is she sitting on? A throne. See that? All the deities and gods are in the form and figure of men or a woman, and they're sitting on some type of chair, throne, or box representing rulership in some type of kingdom. And yet you just found out tonight that ain't nobody ever seen the Creator, ever. These false gods been playing games, man. False gods been playing games out here, man. The ever-present Creator versus a localized deity. Whom do you worship? Ever-present, always present, always there, ubiquitous, omnipresent, present in all places at all times, localized to make local, orient locally. Like when you saying that God, as we speak right now, the Almighty is sitting in heaven on a throne. You just localized them. Because none of these people that I just showed you, none of these deities I just showed you, from biblical God to the Cometian gods to the Canaanite gods, to none of them are ever present. You got an example of someone sitting on a chair claiming to be the Creator, the Father of all. You dig? But you can look at them. None of the deities that I showed you are ever present. They don't fill all space and place. They're localized to a chair. Really, Malachi? I'm getting to it. Let's get into it. Oaspi, Book of Judgment, chapter 3. Book of Judgment, chapter 3. Oaspi. Man, if y'all get some understanding, y'all drop us 7,000 in the chat, man. We out here cooking, man. Nothing but love and light. Nothing but love and light in this deal, man. The greatest, truly marvelous. You feel me? Truly, truly marvelous. Let's get some understanding. We've seen the deities, and they all in forms and figures. You can see them. They sitting on thrones. They got kingdoms. Let's get some understanding, though. First, I charge you, Book of Judgment 3 and 6. First, I charge you that whoever says God, God calls in vain. I have not come to establish, but to abolish all God's lords and saviors among mortals. For what is past is past. But from this time forward, whoever hears my word and the decree of my commandment and continues to make an idol, we all know what an idol is now, right? Of any name except the Great Spirit, blasphemes against his creator. But whoever cries out in fullness of heart saying, God, God, meaning by that, the ever-present, the creator, is not a blasphemer before me. So you got freedom to actually say God. It's just, what do you mean when you're saying God? When you're praying to God, what idea of God do you hold up top? Is it a man sitting in heaven right now on a box, in a chair, in a wheelchair? Or do you understand when you're praying that I'm talking about the one ain't nobody ever seen? I'm talking about the one even Yahshua said in the Bible. None of y'all ever seen him, seen his shape, heard his voice, none of that. I'm coming the same way. That's how you got to be. I'm coming the same way. So really, the creator really ain't tripping off what you're saying. It's more about what idea do you hold about me up top? Is the creator in the form and shape of a man? Woe man, angel, animal? Or is the creator unseen, but everywhere? See? So look, there's no foul on the play if you saying God, but you mean the ever-present creator, all right? And whoever says Ormas, meaning master light, source of light, meaning the ever-present, the creator, is not a blasphemer before me. And whoever calls any name in any language that signifies the ever-present, the creator, is not a blasphemer before me. Creator ain't tripping off how you pronounce something. Huh? Or if you saying it in Hebrew or French, you know what I mean? Or Farsic, cares less. What do you mean by what you're saying? That's what matters, all right? So whoever calls any name in any language that signifies the ever-present, the creator, is not a blasphemer before me. But whoever says Brahma, signifying a god in the figure and shape of a man, sitting on a throne in heaven, is a blasphemer against Jehovah, the ever-present, the creator. Hold on. Look what it say right here. 15. And whoever says Christ, signifying a God in the figure and shape of a man, sitting on a throne in heaven, is a blasphemer against Jehovah, the creator. I'm going to ask you again. Has your deity ever been seen? Is your deity sitting on the throne? If you saying God, but you mean a figure in this form and shape of a man sitting on a throne in heaven right now, you already up Dung Creek without a paddle. You're blaspheming. I mean, you can say God, you can say Lord, you can do all that, but you cannot have this in your head. You cannot have this in your head. You cannot have this in your head when you saying God and praying in your prayer breath, right? You cannot have this in your head. You cannot have this in your head in Revelations. You can't have none of this. The creator's unseen. If you feel uncomfortable by admitting that, look, you're still stuck on Bible, John 1 and 18. No man have seen God at any time, nor heard his voice, nor seen his shape. John 5 and 37, 1 John 4 and 12. God is a spirit. Those that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. John 4:24. You can't have this in your mind when you praying and saying God and Lord. If so, you're blaspheming. You can't have this in your mind when you're doing all that. See, so it's important when we come and holler at y'all about these topics that we get some understanding, right? You say God, you say Lord, but you can't be thinking about some type of man sitting on a chair somewhere. And for the sisters too, the goddesses, the Astarte, Ashtoreth, Semiramis, Aset, Isis, same thing. Ancestral worship, same thing. Form and figure of a man. They're spirits of the dead. That's it. So now we know that if that's what you're doing, and whoever says Christ, Christ signifying a God in the figure and form of a figure and shape of a man sitting on the throne in heaven, it's a blasphemy against Jehovah, the creator of all persons. Whoever calls on the name of any other man or angel, worshiping such as a God, is an idolater in my sight. See, and that's why the Christians is a dung creek without a paddle too, because they go all out and say, look, Jesus is God Almighty. And by that they mean the creator of all. Like, man, come on, man. Nor do I, look what he said right here. Nor do I judge them less idolatrous than if they worship stone idols or graven images. You're no less idolatrous than anybody who worships a stone idol or Mother Mary. If when you say God or Lord, you got a picture in your mind of some type of man sitting on top of some type of throne, you're no less idolatrous than those out here hugging trees and worshiping trees, worshiping stone idols or graven images. When I say hug, I'm talking about worshiping trees and all that. He said, you're no less idolatrous, man. You see? Danger. That's why he kept saying it's blasphemy. Good night. Look at this here. For I proclaim my heavens open and the way of understanding clear. Jehovah, the creator, is ever present and does by virtue of his presence and not by what? Any law. Notice if you hold an image in your mind about who is called God in the form and figure of a man sitting on the throne, it is what? Idolatry. And blasphemy against the ever-present creator. The great spirit is everywhere at the same time and yet unseen, not in the form and figure of a man. Let's get into this chapter 20, judgment. I speed. Let me jump down though, because I got, this is serious. This is serious. Hold on. Nah. I gotta go back just one more. I got to. Let's start right here. It's all good. Chapter 20 and 8, Book of Judgment. I speak. Body blow. Because of the ever presence of Jehovah, you were quickened into a conscious being. Because the Creator's presence is everywhere, you were made a living, conscious being. Stop it, man. As your earth body is of the earth, so is your spirit of the Creator. Nevertheless, spirit is the opposite of corporeal life. For the latter, the physical life, comes to an end. But the spirit of man is a tree of everlasting life. See that? Your spirit grows by cultivation. You got to work at it, right? Which is by the practice of wisdom, truth, virtue, benevolence, and what affiliation with others. Do not think that the soul grows by prayers or confessions to this God or that God. For no one shall be exalted for words without works. For no one shall be exalted for words without works. So if you out here praying, but you ain't putting no work or no motion behind it, you're wasting your breath. You won't be exalted with words without works. See that? Oh, wait. Look at this. Look at this. Yet in whatever God you firmly believe, like some of y'all believe in Jesus and the rapture, and you know what I mean, Allah and whatever. Okay, so whatever God you believe, you firmly believe, you may worship Him. For He is your choice. That's your choice. You want to worship a packet of ketchup? Go ahead. Neither shall man prevent you in this your liberty. But remember, there's always a but remember. But remember, hold on. Look at this. But remember, the same rule holds for all in this day. You shall never see the God you worship. Jesus or Yahshua said, no man have seen God at any time. Never heard his voice. You never seen his shape. That's John 1:18, John 5:37, 1 John 4:12. So you know that's something you got to deal with. That's something you got to deal with, because now you got to go back to the stories and go into when people saw him. Ooh, wait, ooh, wait, ooh, wait. And look, this right here frightens. This right here frightens the naysayers. You dig? And we go right in the Bible, they don't deal with it and then run. And then when we deal with something that will bring clarity to your clearly confused, misguided soul, you pack up and get up out of here. You really don't. Because ain't nothing there. Like, there is no arguing against the Almighty Jesus Father being all powerful, all knowing, fills all space and place and yet unseen. You can't argue against that. What you gonna say? He can be seen. He don't fill all space and place. He's weak. He's ignorant. Now, what you like? How do you argue against it? You can't argue against it. The same rule holds for all in this day. You shall never see the God you worship, unless indeed it is an idol, a deceiving spirit, or an image of wood or stone or some corporeal substance. So we ain't watering credit down for nobody. For behold, I have cast out all gods, lords, and saviors on the earth and in the heavens. Look at this. Verse 15. Yet because of such worship, this you shall also prove, that whoever of the ancients was great, or whatever God was well known, that you set your soul on to love. Behold, familiar spirits will come to you to deceive you, professing to be that ancient or that God. See that? It's a dangerous game. Look, all these people just claim they heard from Jesus and spoke to him face to face and set 4 rapture dates. You can't tell me there ain't a deceiving spirit out here coming in the name of Jesus Christ, deceiving his followers. Now, there's hundreds of thousands of people who just missed the rapture, supposedly. They were supposed to be naked, flying up into space to meet Jesus. Look at this. So it's letting you know the level of spiritual warfare and discernment that you got to be on, man. You got to be really discerning what's going on. Because what is it telling you? It's telling you whatever God you decide to worship, a deceiving spirit will come to you to deceive you. We're trying to save you from being a slave to these false ass gods. Look at this. And if you believe them, and if you believe these deities, then this too you shall prove. Remember, it was all your choice anyway. You want to worship a packet of ketchup? Go ahead. You want to worship a man born of a woman? Go ahead. And if you believe him, then this too you shall prove. When you are dead, when you are dead and your soul risen from the dead, behold, some deceiving spirit will come to you to use you. Nor shall you discover for a long season that you have been the dupe and slave of an unscrupulous master. The false gods want your soul. And you may not have worshiping these deities, it's your choice or whatever. But guess what's coming for you? A high level of deception when you cross over. High level, waiting on you. You want to find out till later on, man, I'm a straight slave to this sucker, man. Look at this. This is why. For this day in the lower heavens, there are millions of false Brahmas. Millions. Millions of false Buddhas. Millions of false Christs. And millions of false Gabriel gods, or who you know as Allah. There's millions of these suckers waiting on you when you cross over. Got us another one. And how you like your Christ? You like him, you like him blind, her and blue-eyed, or you like him looking like he come out the condo? Don't matter, because there's millions of these suckers in the lower heavens waiting for you to cross over. Waiting on you to cross over. Look at this. Whoever binds himself to these names while on earth become a fit subject for demons, drooges to fall upon when he enters heaven. Demons waiting on you. Got us another one. Fresh fish. Do not think that great wisdom comes suddenly by dying. In your early entrance into the spirit world, you shall be easily deceived. And this is for those who don't roll with Creator. This is why the character of the Creator is very important. It's top priority. Top priority. Y'all, it's millions of these suckers waiting on you. Millions. Millions. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to be a slave worming on your belly. Just to gaze at your God from 1,000 yards up. Turn back around and go work for another 300 years in the mines. It say in your early entrance into the spirit world, deception is coming. Might as well get it now. Look at it. It say, for which reason you should school yourself every day of your life. Y'all need to highlight this. I say this every day to myself. You should do the same thing. Constantly repeat this. For which reason you should school yourself every day of your life, that your Creator only is your God. Your Creator only is your, since we talking God, right? All right, well, I'm talking about the Creator. The Creator only is your God, and that you shall never see him as you see a man or an angel. What is we talking about here? Not carved in no stones, not painted on no pictures, or up top in your head because you read something, some type of spiritual text. No. Somebody, he appeared to you face to face. You'll never see the Creator like you see a man. And that you shall never see him as you see a man or an angel. That you can see him every day in the glory of his works. Watch this. Watch this. With this faith in your soul, you shall die and enter heaven fearlessly. Bow-legged in the shoulders. And when a pretended God or Savior comes to you asking you to bow to him, to worship him, to pray to him, asking tribute, you should know in truth that he is what? False. If you understand, man, high-level deception is waiting on you when you cross over. And if one of these jokers skip across your plate looking glorious, but nevertheless in form and figure of creation, man, woe, man, angel, animal, and he tell you, bow, you stand before your maker. You better tell him, you better tell him his breath stank and keep it moving. How about that? How about that? Yeah, I know. I know, man. It is. Verse 24, neither shall you judge yourself by any sacred book or any Bible in the entire world, nor by the words within them purporting to be my words or the words of any God, Lord, or Savior. See? For I have abolished all such sacred books and Bibles and words and sayings contained in them, purporting to be my words and the words of any God, Lord, or Savior. Neither shall you bind yourself by them, nor judge yourself by anything that is written or printed in them. Here you go, ready to cut your nuts off like Origen, the church father, because he wanted to make himself a eunuch for the kingdom. Here you go over here becoming a necromancer like Jerome, who put up the Latin Vulgate. But behold, I declare to you a greater glory and judge in their place, which is Jehovah, your creator. You're going to choose the creator, you're going to choose a God, Lord, or Savior. Man, I'm rolling with the creator, the maker of God's Lords and Saviors. By him and through him you shall judge and be judged. Books are imperfect, including OWASP. OWASP don't purport to be holy. That's Bible. Bible is the title of the Bible is the Holy Bible. Books are imperfect, but the creator never. That's powerful, man. That's powerful. Look at this. The Holy Bible and the throne of God. If you get some understanding, y'all drop a 8,000 in the chat. Oh, wait. None of you seen for the friend. You know how to get sad. Yeah, we whoop on demons too. I ain't giving that light. You know that. You already know that, Summer. You know what I mean? It ain't hard to understand. You just got to get out your own way. You know what I mean? I'll read this book. What have you heard that's evil? Like timestamp the evil. What have we said that's evil? Bloodthirsty, curling, sacrificing animals and children and blood everywhere. What have we said that's evil? I may have said something that challenged what you thought it was, but we ain't on her purporting to go to war and spill blood and chop out organs and you smeared with. No, we ain't doing none of that. Yeah, but I mean, look, if you don't like what you heard in Summer, then keep it pushing, you know. Or if you're gonna be here, keep it cool so you ain't gotta get put out. Just sit back and listen. That's what you're gonna do anyway. The Holy Bible and the throne of God. See, this is a representation of God sitting on the throne, or Jesus. You know what I mean? Now, Jesus is not the creator. Look, that's simple. If you don't know that, you know what I mean, then you might want to listen. You dig? And if that's too much for you, then just go ahead and exit out the room. If you feel you got to defend your deity, I mean, that's on you. You ain't going to win nothing over here. So just chill on out, listen, because that's what you're going to do anyway. You dig? But if it's too much for you, leave. But keep it cool so you ain't got to get put out. That's all we're saying. The Holy Bible and the throne of God. Let's get into this. And God is something you become, you know. The real Yahshua will be on God's status one day, for sure. He ain't got, but he's still not the creator, the Almighty. That's the point. All right, look at this word, throne of God. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord, or Yahweh, sitting on his throne. Now, Christians say the Lord in all capitals is Jesus. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him, on his right hand, on his left. Psalm 9 and 7. But the Lord, or Yahweh, shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment. Psalms 11 and 4. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of man. And there's plenty of them. Oh, wait. Look at this word. Look at this. So what's that right here? It say, who and what is a God? Who and what is a Lord? Let's get into the great decoder, the book of Sky, Earth, Spirit, OISP. Book of Jehovah, Yahweh. Look at it, right? Chapter 7 and 8. Look at this right here. I'm going to show y'all. It say, to which you shall be co-workers with one another in system and order. In my name, it shall become an organic body and known as the heaven of the earth, or lower heaven, which shall travel with the earth, so the atmosphere. All right. And I will allot you a chief who is wise and experienced and found in heavenly kingdoms. And he shall appoint from among you officers, messengers, shawls, asaps, and esnors. And you shall be numbered and apportioned to your labor in places like in my other lower heavens on other worlds. 10. He who is chief shall be called who? God of this heaven and the earth, which are now bestowed to his making. See that? God is the chief over the heavenly kingdom that's right this in the atmosphere. God is not the creator. Now you're reading about the setup of the heavenly kingdom. A lot of us talk about, you know, the kingdom of God, but don't even know the setup. What's the title and ranks of angels? Who are the gods, lords, and saviors? How long is the ark cycle? How long does the God sit on the throne? Is the God Jehovah? Like a lot of stuff you just assume it and running your mind. You know what I mean? Look at this right here. It's and God shall have a council and throne within his heavenly city, and the place shall be called Horeb, because it is the first kingdom of God in this firmament. And God shall rule on his throne, okay, for it is his, and his council shall rule with him. In my name they shall have dominion over angels and mortals belonging to the earth. And God shall appoint chiefs under him, who shall go down and dwell on the earth with mortals. And the labor of these chiefs shall be with mortals for their who? Resurrection. And these chiefs shall be called lords, for they are gods of the land. A lord is you heard of landlord before? Lord is just a land god. They are gods of land, which is the lowest rank of my commissioned gods. Notice a lord is the lowest rank of the creator's commissioned gods. We've been calling the Lord the most high. The term most low is more appropriate. Lord God equals land God. The Holy Bible alludes to the Lord being a land God. Absolutely. Deuteronomy 23, 12 through 14. You shall have a place also without the camp, whither you shall go forth abroad. And you shall have a paddle upon your weapon, and it shall be when you will ease yourself abroad, when you got to take a bobo, you shall dig therewith, and shall turn back and cover that which cometh from thee. Why, Malachi? For the Lord your God walks in the midst of your camp. The Lord is a land God. The Lord is not the creator. The Lord ain't even God. Man, that's a lot going on, man. Oh my God, man. Okay. For the Lord thy God walketh in the midst of the camp. He ain't trying to step on your dung bombs. He telling you, look, go out. If you gotta relieve yourself, go outside where we camping at, dig you a hole, squat down, let it go, and then cover your dung up with some dirt. It don't say nothing about wiping your rear end, boy. And then walk on back into the camp. And why? Because the Lord ain't trying to be walking on none of your dung bombs. The Lord is a land God. You see? Notice Yahweh, or the Lord, walks through the midst of Israel's camp. This is the 40-year wandering of the sons of Jacob in the wilderness after leaving Egypt before entering the promised land. The Lord is on the earth, walking with them. The Holy Bible agrees with Owaspy. A Lord is a land God. Let's get another example. Yeah, you mad? Deuteronomy says it. You mad at me for? Let's go get another example. Okay. Genesis 11, 4 through 9. They said, go to, let us build a city. Is this Bible enough for you? This is Torah. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach into heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men build. Now, hold on, what you mean he came down? He should already been. If he's the creator, he should already been there. Why? Because the creator is ever present. fills all space and place. What you mean he got to come down to the earth to see the city and tower these people, his creation is built? What do you mean he got to come down? The Lord is the land God, man. You praising the Lord, not the creator. See, the WASP is just clearing things up for you. You know what I mean? It's clearing things up for you. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which children of men builded. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us, the Lord is plural. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. Verse 7, go to, let us go down, and there confound their speech, that they may not understand one another's speech. Let us, the Lord, Yahweh is plural right here, man. And the Lord came down, go to, let us go down, and there confound their language. Let us go down. Huh? The Lord is plural right here, y'all. If you understand that, let us go down. This the Lord coming down. Let us go down. If you understand that Yahweh or Yahuwah is plural right here in Genesis 11, verses 5 and 7. Drop a 2,000 in the chat, man. So they go, where are they going down to? They going down to the earth, man. That's where the city is built at. That's where the tower is being built at. So they got to go down, or the Lord or they got to go down to the earth. He even got to come down to see, to even observe the city. The Lord got to come down. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from there did the Lord scatter. From where? Babel, the city. From there, the Lord scattered them abroad upon the face of all the earth. At the building of the Tower of Babel, notice the Lord had to come down to the earth to see the building of the city and the tower. This alone proves the Lord is a land God, and also not the ever-present creator. Creator is everywhere at one time, or omnipresent. The fact that he had to come down to see what was going on proves he wasn't already there. It's simple, man. Notice also, according to verses 5 through 7, the Lord of Yahweh is plural and not singular, alluding to more than one Lord of Yahweh. Houston, we have a problem, man. We have a problem, you know what I mean? Book of Safar, I speak Moglite bombs. Question and answer. Who is the creator? Who is Jehovah? Answer. The great spirit. He who is over all and within all. The potent, omnipotent. See, that's true. The potent and unseen. It is he who's ever present, quickens the life, quickens into life. All dead live. Woo. Where is the creator? Where is Jehovah? Everywhere. 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 Nor is there a place without him. So then he didn't need to come down. If the Lord is the creator, he wouldn't have to come down to even observe and see what was going on. He's already there, presence there, sees all, hears all. Where is Jehovah? Everywhere. Nor is there a place without him. Well, what is his form? What do he look like? He bow-legged in the shoulders. He got big calf muscles. Woolly hair. Like, what do he look like? What is his form? Answer. No man can attain to know his form. Hold on. What is this? What is his extent? How far is his reach? No man can attain to know his extent. Is he a person? And as much as all the living are persons, so is he the all person of all things. And as much as his ever presence quicken into life all that live, so is his ever presence with the living. Listen, seeing, hearing, and feeling every word and act of all men, women, and children on earth and in heaven. Ball game. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. That ain't none of us. No, nobody who has ever slid through the womb of a woman has ever seen all, heard all, and felt every word and act of every man, woman, and child on earth and in heaven. Look, man, you might as well get on down with Creator Gang. You can't beat them, join them, man. You know what I mean? You might as well get on down with the gang, man. Like, ain't nobody bringing this out. Like, this is high level. Like, you dig? And one thing we not doing is watering the Creator down for nobody. Where did his name come from? Because it sounds like over there in the Bible. Where did his name come from? Look at this. As the wind whispers air in the leaves and utters oh, and the ocean surges and the thunder above, and wow, ye in the winter shrill whistle, so came the name E, which has become Je-ho-vi, or El-lo-e, or El-lo-him, or We-no-him. E-o-e is the vowels, man. E-o-e. That's where the Creator's name came from. The vowels is really the sound that the wind makes. The sound that the wind makes at different seasons of the year. How was he discovered? The angels of heaven taught man of him. Who are the angels of heaven? People who once lived on earth or other corporeal worlds. What they look like? What is their form? Just like mortals. Look just like you. But being perfect in their order. Look at this right here. I want to show y'all something too. What is an idol? Anything having form and figure that is worshipped. Hold on. No. Look at this. This is important right here. Well, who is God? Answer: a spirit with a heavenly throne, believed by people in darkness to be the creator of all things. Somebody was just in the chat saying, y'all saying Jesus ain't God. And the whole deal is you worship Jesus, and Jesus is a man. He came through the womb of a woman, purportedly sits on a throne. So who is God? A spirit with a heavenly throne, whether true or false, but believed by people in darkness to be the creator of all things. So the fact that you over saying Jesus is God proved that you were in darkness, because you're saying Jesus is God as if Jesus is the Almighty, and Jesus gets worshipped as if he's the creator of all things. Can't be the creator of all things. He didn't create himself, did he? Hold on. It's the word. Who is God? Answer: a spirit with a heavenly throne, believed by people in darkness to be the creator of all things. Familiar spirits often call themselves God. Taught mortals will call them that also. Who are saviors? Familiar spirits who have kingdoms in the atmosphere, which by the ancients was called the lower heavens. Saviors are tyrants. Saviors are tyrants who make slaves of other spirits who believe in them. Their slaves are sent back to mortals as guardian angels or familiars in order to make captive slaves of mortals after death. You're going to be a slave. Those who are quoted and devoted to the deity will be slaves. And the purpose of them making you a slave after death is to build up or augment the Savior's kingdoms in atmosphere. Excellent question. Well, how can a man escape the toils of false lords, gods, saviors, and familiars? Y'all, I like this. This is how. He shall covenant with the Creator every day of his life and serve him by doing good works to others with all his wisdom and strength. Nor shall he call in prayer on the name of a Savior or God or any other spirit, but on the Great Spirit only. You only pray to the Creator. That's what Jesus said in Matthew 6. They asked him how to pray. He said, "Our Father who art in heaven." When he got tempted by the devil in Matthew 4 and Luke chapter 4, he said, "No, fear Creator, only him shall you serve." See? Nor shall he call in prayer on the name of a savior or God or any other spirit, but on the great spirit only. If he does this and eschews contention, avoids contention, fighting, arguing, all that, complaining, war, avoid leadership, avoid earthly gain and earthly aggrandizement, then Etherian angels, the high-raised brothers and sisters, will come and guard him in the name of the Creator, who are Etherian, spirits who have risen above the bondage of the earth and its atmosphere, spirits who can come only to mortals who have attained beyond earthly desires. Good night, boy. See, man, this deal gets serious. This deal gets serious. Let me read this escrow. This escrow pretty good too. Oh wait, I'm gonna read this right here, and then you know, and we can come back and then do this one because I got more. I got more. I'm gonna do a part 3. We're gonna get into Abraham sacrificing and all that, man. I got all types of stuff on this deal, man. I got the right there going to the burnt offerings, the sin offerings, the chopped off goat heads in Leviticus. You know what I mean? I got all types of stuff on this doc. This doc is loaded. Yeah, right here. Let me see. That's all about Abraham right there. Then we go into the lion pen of the scribes. See that? Get into it. I'm saying there's plenty of Bible in this whole presentation. Plenty. You know what I mean? And when we doing a compare and contrast between Bible and, you know what I mean, Owaspi, man. And hey, look, come on with it. Look what the lion pen of the scribes say. Jeremiah 8:8 in different versions. It said, how can you say we are wise because we had a word of the Lord when your teachers have twisted it? Twisted what? The word of the Lord, the Tanakh, the Torah, the Bible. When your teachers have twisted it by what? Writing lies. I ain't write this stuff. Jeremiah 8:8 ESV. How can you say we are wise in the law or the Torah of Yah is with us? But behold, the lion pen of the scribes has made it into a lie. Jeremiah 8:8 NET. How can you say we are wise? We had a law of the Lord. The truth is, those who teach it have used their writings to make it say what it does not really mean. According to the Holy Bible, not according to Malaki Macabee, not according to the Creator gang, there are lies written in the scriptures against the Creator. These falsehoods were written by biblical scribes. Since this is true, our job is to navigate these turbulent waters and try or test the spirit by the spirit. Since there are lies written in it, everything you read in the Holy Bible is not true. Breathe easy. None of this is your fault, man. None of it. So then we dive into the Nazarene Acts. All this is we're gonna be on part 3. You know what I mean? Nazarene Acts of the apostles, dealing with some of the writings of what we call Kepha or Peter. Look right here. He going to the corruption of the Torah. See? See that? He going to the corruption of the Torah. Right there. Yeah. I'm giving you the page numbers and everything. Go look at it. Read them in a week. Right? Show y'all some more stuff, man. This stuff get deep. This stuff get deep. And he going into his different battle strategies, but the whole time he letting it be known the Torah is compromised and that Yahshua taught them how to properly navigate through the Torah because everything written ain't right. Look at this. Right notions of God essential to holiness, meaning you got to think about the Creator a certain way. Let's read some of that. This is Kepha Peter, Nazarene doctrine. It say, what I'm going to tell you will be sufficient by way of example. But I do not think, my dear Clement, that anyone who possesses ever so little love to God and unaccustomed to learning will be able to take in or even to hear the things that are spoken against him. Like so we say, if you really down with who everybody call God or the Creator, then if you really down with him, you ain't even gonna be able to sit around listening to people, you know what I mean, water him down or speak against him. You know what I mean? Look at this right here. It says right here. It says, so little love to Elohim and unaccustomed to learning will be able to take in or even to hear the things that are spoken against him. For how is it that he can have an overarching soul and yet be set apart? supposing that there are many gods and not only one. But even if there be but one, who will cherish zeal to be set apart? Right? Like, what do you mean set apart? I mean, if it's only him, if he's the only deity or God or, spirit, then who is he set apart from? That's what he's saying. He was like, we got to rethink like what they've written down about who you calling God. But even if there be but one, who will cherish zeal to be set apart? One finds in him many defects, since he will hope that the beginning of all things, by reason of the defects of his own nature, will not visit the crimes of others. Look at this. Wherefore, far be it from us to believe that the master of all, who made the heaven and the earth and all things that are in them, shares his government with others, or that he lies, right? For if he lies, then who speaks truth? Peter like, nah, we're not playing with all that God sent lying spirits. And no, we're not doing all that. You know what I mean? For if he lies, then who speaks truth? Or if he makes experiments as in ignorance, then who foreknows? Like it repented God that he made man on the earth. Repented meaning he regretted. He turned back from. Well, that means he didn't know everything. Whenever you have a deep regret about something you did, is because you jumped out there and did something prematurely. And you ain't know it was going to go like that. Right? Or if he makes experiments as in ignorance, then who knows all or foreknows? If he deliberates and changes his purpose, who then is perfect? I thought it said that God don't change in the Bible. If he deliberates and changes his purpose, who then is perfect in understanding and permanent in design? If he gets jealous, if he envies, who is above rivalry, right? Because you're only jealous because there's some type of competition out there. Who is above rivalry? You mean to tell me the creator has competition? If he hardens hearts, right? Well, he hardened Pharaoh hard, man, that he might destroy him, man. If he hardened hearts, who makes wise? If he makes blind and deaf, who is given sight and hearing? If he commits pilfering, who administers justice? If he mocks, you got in there, God gonna mock you, nigga. If he mocks, who is sincere? If he is weak, who is omnipotent? All powerful, right? If he is unjust, who is just? If he makes evil things, who will make good things? If he does evil, who will do good? But if he desires the fruitful hill, Jerusalem is the fruitful hill. If he desires Jerusalem, whose then are all things? Creator made all of this. If he is false, who then is true? If he lives in a tent or a temple, who is without bounds? You see, Peter and them didn't look at the creator how the scribes wrote them down. They like, nah, man. Nah. We're not falling for none of that. If he is fond of fattened sacrifices, burnt offerings, and drink offerings, who then is without need? Remember, you say as a sweet smelling savor, it just smells so good. But that means, he really wanted to smell that, right? That means you got a need that you got to provide to your creator, man. The creator is without need. There ain't nothing you can give the Almighty who owns all. Who then is without need and who is holy and pure and perfect? If he is pleased with lamps and wicks, who then placed the luminaries in the sky? If you think the creator is happy because you done lit your menorah up, he's like, man, look, nigga, I got countless luminaries and worlds in the sky. If he dwells in shadow and darkness and storm and smoke, who is the light that lightens the universe? See, so it ain't just creator gang 2,000 years after, just letting y'all know, look, y'all got to rethink this thing when you're talking about the Almighty. The Nazarenes and the Essenes been putting it down and making a difference between the Creator, the all-powerful, the ever-present, the all-knowledge, the unseen Creator, you know what I mean, versus the deities that everybody was held captive to because of the lying pen of the scribes. Huh? If he comes with trumpets, shoutings, arrows, darts, who is the sought after tranquility of all? If he loves war, who then wishes peace? Man, y'all calling God a man of war, and you all over the place. Man, y'all just throwing putting a jacket on Creator. And we over here like, you got to clean that up before you come in here. If he makes evil things, who makes good things? If he is without affection, who is a lover of men? If he is not faithful to his promises, who will be trusted? If he loves the evil, adulterers, and murderers, who will be a just judge? If he changes his mind, who is steadfast? If he chooses evil men, who then takes part of the good? Dang. 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 Last thing we're going to close out. Wherefore, Clement, this is what Peter's saying. Beware of thinking otherwise of God than that he is the only God, master and father, good and righteous, the who? The creator. So let's not make no, let's not make no mistake about who they talking about. They saying God, but they mean creator. It's saying right there in the text, the creator. Wherefore, Clement, my son, beware of thinking otherwise of God and that he is the only God, master and father, good and righteous, the creator. He like, don't think of the creator opposite of none of what I just said. Because there are many things written against him that we dare not believe. We don't care where it's written at. Long-suffering, merciful. It says the Father, good and righteous, the creator, long-suffering, merciful, the sustainer, the benefactor, ordaining love of men, counsel in purity, immortal and making immortal, incomparable, dwelling in the souls of the good, who cannot be contained and yet is contained within the heart, who has fixed the great world as a center in space, who has spread out the skies and solidified the land, who has stored up the water, who has disposed the stars in the sky, who has made the fountains flow in the earth, has produced faults, has raised up mountains, has set bounds to the sea, has ordered winds and blasts, who by the spirit of counsel has kept safely the body comprehended in the boundless sea. You see, so even the Nazarenes and them wasn't rolling with everything the scribes had written down 2,000 years ago. Look at that, Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. Go get it. Homilies 2, chapter, what is that, 38? He go into the corruption of the Torah. And he tell you later on, if you keep reading, Yahshua taught us how to properly, you know what I mean, navigate through this deal, man. So we can get into a part 3, but man, look, we got all types of, man, look, we out here. Look at this. Out here. Look at this. Look at this. According to the Holy Bible and the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, the scriptures have many falsehoods attached to it. But the scribes and teachers of the Torah have not only written lies, but have destroyed the minds of the masses through their interpretations of these lies. Who are these scribes? And we getting it at, you know what I mean? So y'all, we gonna go ahead and close on out. I want to hit y'all with one more thing, though. One more thing, man. You know, we up burning the midnight oil. Say bumping, man. I'm up. Right here. Right here. This is how we gonna end this. This is how we gonna end this right here. This is how we gonna end this right here. Chapter 40, Esdras. For in the time of fulfillment of my revelations, it will not be sufficient for either heaven or earth to reestablish spiritual communion. But it shall also be shown to them that there are kingdoms and principalities in heaven, and they are ruled over by both good and bad gods. Moreover, they shall understand the truth. Whoever worships Buddha shall go to Buddha to be his slaves. And whoever worships Brahma shall go to Brahman and be his slaves. The same apply to Christ and Allah and all these different deities, y'all. Same apply. That's where you're going. You sure is. But it's the kingdom of a false God. You're going to be a slave there. Your purpose is to build up his kingdom until the crack and fall. Because it's going to fall. You dig? I will make it plain to them that to worship a spirit, though he is a God, is simply the giving of their own souls into bondage. For they shall in that day understand that the great spirit, the ever-present, is not an idol in the figure of a man sitting on a throne. If you worship a God, you're giving your own soul over into slavery, bondage. The creator is not an idol in the figure of a man sitting on a throne at all. Omnipresent, all places at the same time. Omniscient, all knowledge. Omnipotent, all powerful, invisible, impossible to look upon, as we see other men, women, children, or animals. These are the main attributes belonging to the ever-present creator, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. Let's look deeper into more characteristics and compare and contrast the ever-present creator versus who? The localized deities, boy. Ooh, wee, ooh, wee, ooh, wee. If you got some understanding today, y'all spend them vortices in the chat, man. CGG is still cooking. CGG is still cooking, baby. Ooh, wee. I gotta beat my feet in a couple hours, y'all. You know what I mean? Right back at it like I left. I got reporting. If y'all got some understanding for this deal. Ooh, wee. Yeah. I know. We got to get out, I rock with you, brother, man. Purchase links is in the description box. There you go. You can get it directly from me, the brother. You know what I mean? Something I published earlier this year, February 10th. Got another book coming out too, called Sacred Lies. Woo! This is where it's on Amazon, hardback, softback, ebook, all that. The first book I published was Determination, a Practical Guide on Conquering the Trauma. It's the link in the description box, man. CPG still cooking. I see all vortices in the chat. I'll shake them up when you tell it plain. Yeah, man. Yeah, go hard. Shout out to my brother, Blake. Shire's in the building. I seem like that Micah is in the building. Love and light, y'all. Love and light. Yeah, I got to get up out of it too. Nothing but love and light, man. Hey, man, stay on the neck of these deities. I know what time it is with us, man. Right, CGG. What my brother Westside Connect say? Cal say it too. Create a gang, don't bang, baby. Yeah. But until the next time, family, y'all be good, be safe. You dig? Hey, but stay on the hunt though. Stay on the hunt. You know what I mean? We ain't got no time to be sitting up studying cloud patterns. Stay in motion. Stay in motion. Get into the next time, family. Love, light, and all that good stuff in between. Right? Y'all know how we got to get up out of here, though, right? Y'all know how we got to get up out of here. Y'all already know. Let's get it. Oh.
Jehovah is as near this day as in the time of the ancients. Put yourself in order, becoming one with him. And no book is so easily read as his created universe. Inspiration comes less by books than by what Jehovah wrote. His worlds read him and his works. Frame your speech and your thoughts for him. He will answer you in your own behavior and in the happiness of your soul. Great wisdom cannot be attained in a day, nor purity and strength to overcome temptation, till the growth is from the foundation. The fool will say, the sacred books are no more than man of his own knowledge could write. Yet he has not wisely imitated the power of the words of your God. Let him do this well, and behold, he will also declare my words are from me. Yes, he will recognize them wherever found. It is the will and wish of your God that all men become constitutionally capable of receiving and comprehending the highest life, and that they shall no longer depend upon any priest, church, oracle, holy book, or upon consulting the spirits, and that their behavior may make the earth a place of peace, with long life to all people, for the glory of Jehovah. To his Etherian gods and goddesses, Jehovah said, as you have founded arcs of light in my Etherian heavens, to determine the travel of my corporeal worlds, so shall my God of the earth inspire mortals to build lighthouses for man's ships that travel on the oceans, and those who travel in the ships. And those on the land shall know when a ship nears the port, even as you see my traveling earth approaching the place of Cosmic. For this shall be an illustration to mortals, that I have appointed cycles of times and dawns of times, with gods and goddesses to superintend my creations in tenderness and love, lest by chance man becomes despondent, saying, alas, Jehovah did not provide in wisdom commensurate with the magnificence of his creations. Behold, the time draws near when the nations of the earth shall course around the whole earth in ships, crossing the seas and oceans to all the places I created.